to my kitchen this day in the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. How are you all doing? How was your night? I hope you had a blessed one. I hope you had a wonderful night. Alright, so today we are going to be doing French toast real quick. You know, just like as of now we've not taken breakfast yet, so this meal can be used for breakfast or any time that it appeals to you, but mostly you can really enjoy it for breakfast. So right here I've made a little preparation. So I already opened up the carnation milk because I don't have the liquid, so I'm going to be making use of this carnation milk. And for the scrambled eggs, I already sliced my sausage to save some time. And also, I already have my eggs by my side. Then you're gonna need a ground cinnamon. All right, I'm gonna be using a little of my nutritional yeast for this preparation. And also, you definitely need an oil, any oil of your choice. This is a blend of soybeans and extra virgin or olive oil. And you're going to definitely need your butter. All right, you can also use a stick butter. And along with that, real quick, I'm also going to be using ginger, and I'm going to be using garlic. All right, so come along and let us get this done this morning. So for this, I'll go ahead. I think I'm gonna need a battery. This one did not work. Let me see. So I'm going ahead to open my milk. Very, very important. Okay, it's open. So while this is opening, I want to go ahead and get my eggs for the scrambled eggs ready right here in this plastic. Whatever eggs you want, you are going to, for your scrambled egg, if you want to make scrambled egg along with your French toast, you are going to have to determine that on your own. Okay, so I am back with the eggs, and I'll just go ahead and have this covered. I'm cracking 6 eggs for the scrambled egg this morning. So, and that is going to be scrambled eggs for 6 people. I'll cover it and put it in a place for now. So here we go. We have the milk. the battery is weak. It's not going to remove. It's becoming hard to remove. Can you see if you can do this knife? Okay, so right here I have 3 eggs in a bowl. Let me put it where you can see it. Okay, so right here I have 3 eggs in a bowl. So the next thing I'm going to do now is that I'm going to add the milk. Just a minute, please. I've never done this before. Now I'm gonna make it worse. I guess I have to replace it with new battery. I'm not gonna have to use old battery anymore. So get your carnation milk if you are going to use a carnation milk, and you can also use any milk of your choice. You can use buttermilk if you want. So in the carnation milk, all you just need is about 4 tablespoons of the milk. Okay, so get your spoon, and I'm just going to measure 4 tablespoons inside my egg. Are you counting along with me? All right, so that is just 4 tablespoons. That's all you need for this recipe. So when you do 3 eggs, then you do 4 tablespoons of milk. And you get your fork and mix that together first. I'll pause a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Take it out. I'll go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Just 1. The sugar is going to help to sweeten that up. If you can decide not to add sugar if you don't want sugar in it. But the purpose of the sugar is just to help to sweeten it up. Then I'll go ahead and add the cinnamon, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. This gives your bread a delicious spiced aroma. All right, so just 1 tablespoon of the cinnamon. And then you mix that together. Try and get the cinnamon in very well. Now, if you decide not to use the cinnamon, it's optional. You don't have to use the cinnamon if you don't want to use the cinnamon. So you whisk that together and make sure it's properly bubbling. So at this point, you get your bread ready by the side. Get the butter ready by the side as well. And we are ready to start toasting. Get your fry pan. Okay. I'll go ahead and wipe it out. Okay, so let me see. Okay, get your fry pan, dry out the water. I rinsed it out. I actually washed it out. Then go ahead and try to show this. Okay, so for some people, when they want to do the cinnamon French toast, what they do is they just go ahead and put butter in their pot. If you go ahead and put butter like that, it's going to let the butter to burn, and you are not going to get a very good result out of your French toast. So the best thing to do is to put a teaspoon of oil in your pan first. Okay, so I'll go ahead. Let me wash out this real quick. Make sure it's dry, because we need 1 spoon for the butter and we need 1 spoon for the oil measurements. Okay, so for the oil, you can use any oil of your choice, but I chose to use the soybean blend of oil. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to measure a spoon right here. If you can make an estimate without measuring, that is fine. So you make sure you rub the oil in to your pan. You can use a brush to do it as well. Just get the oil in. I'll set the spoon aside. You see me doing this repeatedly. This morning I'm only going to be doing 6 slices. So 3 eggs is enough for 6 slices. And then you get your butter. Get your butter. Okay. Just that. Put it in your pan. And you let that to melt, to heat up before you do your bread. So on the other side, I will get my bread ready, because when this is ready, you don't want it to burn up. Okay, and you want to make sure that before you put your bread in, you want to make sure that you are not soaking your bread in the oil as well. Right here for my butter to melt in. So as you can see, that is hot, and I'm taking my, and I put it back on a complete off because I've not soaked my bread yet. So what you do, let me put this bread here. So what you do is, remember the mixture we did earlier? Okay, the cinnamon, this is going to be a cinnamon French toast. So the mixture we did earlier, what we are making right here is a cinnamon French toast. You get your bread in the mixture that we did earlier, okay? And don't soak your bread in it. Just get your bread in there real quick and out. And then you drop it in. Real quick and out on the other side too. Don't let your bread soak in there, okay? And then you drop it in. I want to space this. All right, so we are just going to let that to toast on that side, and we are not going to turn it. And I will check periodically to make sure that that side is not burning. Very, very important. So as you can see, I'm just allowing the bread to do. So while the bread is doing, let me see. All right, we can cover both, right? Okay, so while our bread is doing, on this side, I will go ahead and start my scrambled eggs. I also want to have a peek to see if this is already started. Yes, it's already started. With my scrambled eggs, I'm going to use any oil that I choose to. Well, I'll be using my peanut oil with my scrambled eggs. You can use any oil of your choice. I don't like to use a lot of oil to fry my eggs. So now I will get that started to heat up. I hope I'm turning on the right one. I can't remember. It is. It is. That one. So that side, as you can see, is well toasted and brown, and all you just need to do is to switch it to the other side, as you can see. Where is the plate that I want to use for this? All right, so I brought out the first set. That hot is damn hot. Like, really, really hot. Where is the oil I'm using? This thing just confuses you. I'll repeat the process that you see me do over and over again. My pot is hot. Just be careful with it. Put some butter in here. Put some butter in here. Get your bread. I'm not going to be soaking the bread like you see me do earlier. Don't let it soak if you want to get the best result out of it. And besides, this bread is small slices. So it's best you get a bread that you can cut yourself, and you know, let the cut be a bit bigger than this one. But at the same time, you can still use this bread as well. For my scrambled eggs, I will go ahead and mix that up. As you can see, the oil was hot, so I had to turn that stove off and put the fry pan aside. So I'll go ahead and get the eggs ready. Go ahead and put your spices in. I'll go ahead and add some garlic. While at the same time, I'm remembering my toast. I didn't call you. So I'm turning around my toast right here. So this is not ready yet. We're going to still have to leave it. This is not ready yet. We're going to have to leave it. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. All right, I'll go ahead and put the spices that I want in my egg real quick. My scrambled eggs, okay? A lot of pepper in there at all. And then my seasoned salt. I prefer seasoned salt compared to the regular white salt, even though I have that one. There are some dishes that I use it for. And then my nutritional yeast in my egg. That's all I want for the scrambled egg. Put any spices of your choice, and with your fork you get that mixed together. So I'll put my oil back on the stove now. I'll put it back on low. Now my scrambled egg mixture is ready. I'll set that aside while I'm looking at my, cinnamon French toast here. So make sure it's done. That right there is ready. I'll go ahead and do the same thing all over again. Just a spoon of oil in there. Like a teaspoon of butter in there. So you let that dissolve before you soak your bread at all. So over here, my oil needs to be hot before I put in the eggs. So you can just get that done simultaneously, but this is going to require you paying some more attention right here. The cinnamon French toast. Okay. Mix your egg till you start seeing the bubbles. That is a properly mixed egg right there. All right, this is ready. Just the same step all over and over again. So we are going to discuss today about when a minister in a church do something that they ought not to do and they are being suspended. All right, as you can see, the oil in this one is hot. When your oil is overheat for your scrambled eggs, let me see. Okay, when your oil is overheat for your scrambled eggs, the best thing to do is to let the oil sit out a little bit. Okay, you can still leave it on the stove, but not when I say sit out, it doesn't mean you let the oil go back to what it is. No, just let it sit, because if you pour your egg in your oil at that moment that is already sparking out, it's going to burn. Okay, it's going to burn. So all right, you can see right there that our oil is good for our eggs. Along with my eggs, I sliced out some sausages earlier. So I'm going to be using the sausages with the eggs. I'll put this aside. Cinnamon toast here while the egg is doing its own. All right, it's toasting at the moment. As you can see, I am doing both simultaneously. Okay, so let's discuss about when a minister of God is being disciplined and people, are, posting that on social media, or people are talking about it in a bad way. Is this something that should be encouraged? What do you think? Let me know. Put it in the comment section. Is this something that should be encouraged? Do you think that is something do you think it's a good thing? Okay, do you think it is a good thing that should be continued, or you think it's something that shouldn't be continued? Let me know in the comment section what you think about that. Okay. So like I said, we are doing scrambled eggs. You can decide to break up your eggs, or you can decide to just let it be. I put the sausage at this point because I want the sausage to be fresh in it. So as you can see, our eggs right here is ready. And I'm going to quickly bring it out before it starts burning. So I want you to please be very careful when it comes to right here. Our eggs, our scrambled eggs is ready. Okay, so I want you to be very careful when it comes to when a minister, when a child of God, does something that they shouldn't do, and for some reason the church have to discipline them. For some reason the church have to discipline them. As a child of God, you are not supposed to gossip about it. As a child of God, if you are a true child of God, you are not to, join the crowd, join the multitude to backbite about it, or let me just use the word gossip about it, and also you are not to join the crowd to keep malice towards that individual, If for any reason a minister, a worker in the house of God is being disciplined, it is not your duty to go online on social media, to go and paste it on social media. It is not a good thing. It is not a good thing. You need to remember that before he became a minister of God, God had anointed him. God himself appointed him. God himself called that individual into the ministry. You are not the one that called him into the ministry. And just because he did something and the church punished him for it, does not give you the right, to be, gossiping about it, or to join others to be talking about it. Whenever you come on social media, for any church, I don't care what the church is, whether a Catholic church or a Redeemed church or a Deeper Life, a Winners church, whatever the church is, whether Pentecostal or not Pentecostal, whatever religion, the truth is this: an anointed man of God, an appointed man of God, you know, has fallen short of God's grace, has done things that they shouldn't have done. Maybe they slept with, maybe they had extramarital relationship, all right? Maybe they were caught in the bed of adultery or caught in the bed of fornication. It is not in your place to condemn them. Remember when that woman, the adulterous woman in the Bible, remember when they wanted to stone her, and they took her to Jesus, and then those people, they were like, we caught her in the bed of adultery. You know, they said we caught her in the bed of adultery. And Jesus was just, you know, just writing things on the floor, And he looked up and said, any one of you that have no sin in you, let him or her be the one to cast the first stone. Any one of you that have no sin, let him or her to be the first one to cast the stone. What did they do? The Bible makes us to understand that they went away one by one. And Jesus kept on, you know, doing his thing on the ground. And then Jesus now turned around and Jesus now looked up and saw the woman standing alone. Every one of them had gone. They had gone. You know why? Because when they searched within their conscience, they knew that they themselves, they were not clean. They were not. So at that point, they left the woman alone. And Jesus now said, go and sin no more. Thy sins have been forgiven. So in the Christendom, when a minister falls short of the glory of God, and for some reasons, the authority over him, discipline him, maybe they take away the whatever position he was holding at that moment. Maybe they suspended him, or maybe they just terminate his discipleship at that point. It's either they suspended him or they terminate it and say you're no longer going to be a worker. It is not in your place. It is not in anybody's place to come and post it on any social media. It shouldn't be on Facebook. It shouldn't be on WhatsApp. It shouldn't be on Instagram. It shouldn't be on Twitter. You shouldn't tweet about it. You shouldn't share such posts. And you should not comment under such posts if you are a true child of God. Whether the daughter or the son of a child, whether the daughter or the son of a minister, of a worker, you know, got pregnant outside wedlock, and the pastors, their parents are being disciplined. Their son impregnated another person outside of wedding. The daughter got children outside of wedding, and they discipline their parents. It is not in your place to talk about it. It is not. What you are supposed to do, you are supposed to pray for them. Because put yourself in their shoes. You have been known as a pastor. You have been known as a minister of God. You have been known in whatever position you are doing in that church. And all of a sudden, your daughter got pregnant outside of wedlock, or your son impregnated another lady outside of wedlock, and they discipline you. Do you know it's an embarrassment? Do you know it's a pain that touches the heart, a deep wound? That person at that moment is struggling. It will take the grace of God for them to remain in the faith. So they need your prayers, so that the devil will not have their soul, so that their worldly friends that have been telling them, that, what are you doing in church? What are you doing? Come and do this, come and do that. And they said no, they want to be on the Lord's side, so that they will not, deceive them at the point of their weakness. So it is in our place to pray for them, to intercede for them, and to tell the Lord to give them the grace, the needed grace to survive that period. Now, when you start condemning them, you start calling them all names, you start cursing them, you start abusing them, sir, ma'am, you are accruing the wrath of God upon your life. Look at that woman that I told you initially. They brought her to Jesus, that she was caught in the bed of adultery. Even Jesus did not condemn her, unlike the others that wanted to stone her. And Jesus told her, daughter, go, your sins are forgiven. What if that minister of God, what if that individual has gone before the Lord and the Lord has forgiven their sin, even though they are still in the period of termination or they are still in the period of suspension? And now they post that thing on social media, and you come and start commenting. You start saying things. Look at him. Look at his eyes. Look at his this. Look at even him. He deserves it. What is your own? Why are you bringing sin upon your life as a result of another man's weakness? Why are you bringing and incurring the wrath of God upon your head, upon your destiny? You have to be very careful. You really have to be very careful in what you are responding to when it comes to social media. Before I went to sleep, there's this thing I saw on Facebook, and it was laid on me to discuss about it. That is why I'm doing this. Because if not, I would have come up with another topic as being laid. But this was laid on me that it is urgent, because people started commenting. There was this Catholic pastor, they said that while they were doing mass or something, that he said that Igbo people should not sing. He stopped the Igbos, whatever reason he has. And they posted that on Facebook. Number one, it is very wrong to post such a thing on Facebook, on any social media. That is the church matter. Leave it to the church matter. Maybe he's been disciplined. And people started commenting, look at his eyes, look at him, he deserves this, is that. You are incurring the wrath of God upon your head if you participate in such a thing. And the Lord will deliver you. The Lord will open your eyes to see, to know, and to realize the truth early before it is too late. The Lord will help you. So please don't do that. God may have forgiven him. He may have gone back to Christ. You don't know. Some people started posting, maybe he wants to go and marry. If he wants to go and marry and establish his own church, that is between him and his God. That is not for you to say. You want to tell me you have no sin? You want to tell me in a day you don't fall short? That quick anger that you have, that quick leave me alone, I don't want it. They just, all those things that you just do, that just comes to you, then you realize I shouldn't have done that. I'm so sorry, honey. Oh, my dear, I'm so sorry. My daughter, I'm so sorry. Or maybe you feel too big to even tell your children sorry. That is a sin itself. If you have no sin, then crucify others. But if you know that it is taking the grace of God for you to survive each second of the day, do not crucify others, especially a minister of God with an anointing of God upon them. So that is our discussion for today. Now, here is our French toast. I didn't really soak the bread, as you can see, but you can. On the other side, it is well toasted, as you can see. If you can decide to make it crispy like this if you want, but just ensure that it is not burnt out. And like you see, this one's a little burnt in the back, so you don't want to do this. I guess that was when I was preparing for the scrambled eggs. But the other side is good, and that does not mean that it cannot be eaten, because it's not going to be bitter. That is not too burnt at all. Okay, so now I showed you what I did wrong and what I did well in this meal. And here is our scrambled eggs. So you've seen how this meal has been prepared. When you prepare yours, and you like this cinnamon French toast, just please come back and let me know how you really love it. And here is our scrambled eggs. I just added the sausage, and I did not let the sausage to be crispy because I wanted the sausage to still remain fresh. As you can see, I still wanted the taste of the sausage. I don't want it crispy. But if you want your sausage to be crispy, immediately you add the egg in your fry pan. Make sure you throw in your sausage at that point. That way, when the egg is cooking and rising, then your sausage is going to be, getting crispy along with it. Sometimes I do that also. Just today, I want a different taste out of the scrambled eggs. So thank you for taking your time to watch this. Till I come online again, remain blessed, remain holy, remain rapturable, and please stay away from saying ill things about the minister of God. Thank you, and I will see you shortly again. God bless you. Thank you. Stay holy and stay rapturable. Thank you.